Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Quran Daily, where we take a chapter a day for the holy month of Ramadan, starting from the very end of the Quran. My name is Ahmed and I will be reading it in Arabic but then discussing it in English and sharing my journey with you. I must always start with a disclaimer that I am not an Arabic linguist, nor am I a Quranic scholar. I'm not studied in these topics. I am merely undergoing a journey to learn about it and share my learning with you, and hope that you learn something as well. But if you have a different perspective on something that I've said, or something that I've missaid or misunderstood or mispronounced, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I would love to learn from you. I've learned from a lot of the commenters from before, so the more that we make this a collaborative learning experience, the better. Before reading the Quran, we must always say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, which means I seek refuge from God from the devil, and in the name of God, who's most merciful and whose mercy is most encompassing. All right, we're back to the verses that start with the swear, with the promise, with an oath, and here we go. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى, which means and by the night when it covers. And if you remember from Ad-Duha, the second verse of Ad-Duha, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا غَشَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى, I think it's the same second verse, right? وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا, here وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى, different words. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى, this one covers, the other one يَغْشَى. What does يَغْشَى mean? وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, when it falls still, covers with darkness. Kind of want to see these words, 'cause okay, you're just translating it literally, Saja. When the night falls still. But anyway, it's similar, but it's slightly different. Here now it's first it was talking about Wadduha, which is specifically and by the morning sunlight, and here it's about night when it's darkness. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى, which means and the day when it shines bright, in brightness, and the day when it's bright. So at the night when it covers and the day when it shines, you have the yin, the yang, the night and day. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى, and by the one who created the male and the female. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. It's interesting that they're saying by the one. It's more like here it's just describing and it's not he who. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. It's describing what he did and what he had created from males and females. It's not describing him, but it's describing what he created from males and females. إِنَّ سَعْيَكُمْ لَشَتَّى, which means indeed your efforts are surely diverse. Surely the ends you strive for are diverse. What you try and do to bring goodness in your life, there's so many diverse versions of it. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى. So, then as for those who give and fear and are mindful of God and are, the one who's charitable and is mindful of God. And it continues, وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and believes in what is best, believes in the finest rewards, and firmly believes in the finest rewards and doing good. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لَلْيُسْرَى. So then we will ease him and we will facilitate and make it easy for him to go towards the easy way and the easy life, the way of ease. So here, you're talking about whoever gives and is mindful and believes in the finest rewards, then we'll make it easy for him. We'll simplify the way he gets for him to get to a way of ease. I like that, way of ease. Now here they have the opposite end. وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى, and except for those who are greedy or stingy, and istaghna is like, to be like, I don't need anyone, I don't need anything, I don't need any to consider himself free from any need. And then here is the opposite. First we had صَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى, now we have كَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and he denies the finest reward, denies the best rewards, denies the good. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى, and again we had فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى, which means we will ease him into ease, and this one we will ease him into the path of hardship. So here it's kind of saying, if you do good, if you're mindful and you believe in being righteous and doing good and believing in the end of days, then you will get towards something good. And if you do the opposite, if you're stingy, greedy, keep all the stuff to yourself, and you deny what's good, and you deny the finest reward, then it will be easy towards your path towards difficulty will be easy. Like, you will facilitate for them the path of hardship. وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى. Okay, so, and his wealth will not avail him when he falls. His wealth will be no benefit to him when they tumble. Now here they've added into hell, but it could be like falling into sickness. It could be falling into, like, the falling is the main concept. Hell obviously makes the most sense, because like all the wealth that you accumulate is not going to help you in hell. But for me, it can like, if you've really fallen, like, no amount of money is gonna. If you're heartbroken, if you're sick, there are so many ways that money does not avail. But it also does make sense for going to hell. And then it says, "Inna alayna lal huda," which means indeed upon us is guidance. So it's our duty just to guide, just to show the way, and just to give guidance. And then it says, وَإِنَّا لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةِ وَالْأُولَى. And indeed, for us is the hereafter and the first life. The hereafter is not quite the right translation. لَلْآخِرَةِ. لَلْآخِرَةِ means the final one, to the last one. So they translate it to the hereafter for us to know as heaven, but it just means the last one. The last one and the first one. The first life being the life that we're living right now. This is our first life. Surely to us belong the afterlife and the first life. And then here's a warning. فَأَنذَرْتَكُمْ نَارًا تَلَظَّى. So I warn you about a fire that's blazing, a raging fire. لَا يَصْلَاهَا إِلَّا الْأَشْقَى. Which means, no, for me, here it says burn in it, but I thought the Arabic translation was you won't reach it. He does not pray it. Like, for me, it's لا يصلها إلا الأشقى means you will not. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but for me it translates only the most wretched will reach it. None will burn in it. Obviously, if you reach it, you will burn, but nobody will burn in hell except for the most wretched in the blazing fires. And here it says the most wretched. Al-Ashqa. Let's see what that translates to, actually. The most miserable. Yeah. The most wretched, the most miserable. And then who are the most wretched? الَّذِي كَذَّبَ وَتَوَلَّى. The ones who denied and turned away. Denied our signs and turned away and said, no, this is not going to happen. And then in counterparts, those are the ones going to hell, and the ones that are not going to hell, وَسَيُجَنَّبُهَا الْأَتْقَى. And here it's like, will avoid it. The righteous will avoid it, right? That's, if I translate it literally, he will avoid it. Yeah, that's the kind of word. The righteous will be spared from it. Spared is kind of this, but spared is not. Spared means that he was supposed to be going there, and then he was decided not to go there. And for me, I like avoided much more sense, because the person who is righteous just had no business. Hell and him they're not separate. They're just completely different entities. You avoid it completely. And then describe the righteous for me. الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى. The one who gives his wealth and purifies himself. Gives his wealth. The one who, the overall meaning is the one who donates his wealth to purify themselves. But the way that it's translating is wrong. The one who's given his money, he purifies it. The one who's given money, الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى. The one who's given money, the one who's given wealth, purifies it, and purifies it by the means of like giving it away to the poor, giving it away to the needy, trying to like when you accumulate wealth and you give parts of it away, that's a sign of righteousness. That's a sign of doing good. And God asks us to do that, to take care of the orphans, to take care of the wayfarers, So time and time again. So these are the ones that will avoid hell. وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى. And nobody has, and there's not anyone that has with him a favor to be owed, to be recompensed. Like he doesn't owe anyone anything. وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى. That's how I understood it. Not in return for someone's favors, I do not agree with necessarily. وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى. And nobody has with him a favor to be paid back. I don't like this translation, but let's see if we just pop it into Google. And no one has any favor for him for which he would be rewarded. Yeah. And he, like, the way that I understand it is he doesn't owe anybody anything. That's the way that I understand. Like nobody, there's like something that needs to be paid back. Nothing needs to be paid back except seeking إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى. Except seeking here it's the countenance or the pleasure, or the way that I see it is the face of God, and the face is a metaphor of God. It doesn't mean literally the face of God. It does mean the pleasure. It does mean countenance of the إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى. Except seeking, so the only thing that he's owed is the pleasure of God, but seeking the pleasure of their Lord, the Most High. And the last verse is وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى, and so he shall be pleased. So the only thing that he wants, that's how I translate it. The righteous, the one who gives away his money, and he's not asking anyone to recompense. No, he's not asking anyone to return favors for him. He doesn't want anything from anybody. All he wants is the pleasure of God. All he wants is the pleasure of his Lord. So like when he does something good, he's not doing it so that he gets something back. He's just doing it so that God may be happy. And then it translates وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى, which means, and then they certainly would be pleased. The way that I could understand this is God will be pleased, or the human will be pleased, and in both kind of concepts, because he's seeking God's pleasure, and if God is pleased, then he will be pleased. So in a weird way, it's both. But beautiful, very beautiful chapter. Okay, thanks for watching. As usual, we always end with صدق الله العلي العظيم, which means trusted is the word of God, who is most high and most elevated. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. We're nearing the end of Ramadan. A few more days left, everybody, and we're there. Ciao. Ma salama. Bye.